2319, 2319.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What do you mean? Okay. All right.
Well, we're the Green Goblins, back for another episode. I realize that's silly on audio, but we're both wearing green today, and I love it.
I love it. And I'm anxious. I love this fucking sweatshirt. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks so comfy. Plug the creator, the whatever the shop's called.
I think it's called okay, so it's on TikTok. She's really popular on TikTok. It's called See the Way I See.
Okay.
She was on Shark Tank. She went on Shark Tank.
That's so dope.
Yeah, and like I've been watching her grow like through the years, but I was finally able to snag one because I set a calendar reminder and I was like, this is it.
She's still that limited edition. Oh wow.
Yeah. Sells out instantly. Especially her like larger size because she goes all the way to 6X. So they sell out immediately. Like gone. Yeah. I wanted to get, she has another one that says like empathy. That one's really cute. Ooh. And then she has overthinker, which is cute. I'm like,
so relatable.
So
I love that.
Relatable. Yeah.
Very cool.
So this episode, I'm in this fancy new place. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm in a studio in the tattoo shop / retail shop I work out of. We have a podcast room, and I've gotten permission to use the podcast room.
Hell yeah.
So it's fancy. I'm using fancy equipment. Yeah.
You're like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
I don't know what to do. I don't even know. But this episode, we're talking about a life update. So we'll see how many of you motherfuckers skip this one.
Better not be a single one, I tell you what. If you don't want to know every detail about our lives, what are you doing here?
I mean, hello. It's called the plus size section. It should be called Sam and Hayley. Oh my god, I almost said ham.
The ham section.
The ham section. Yeah. I mean, hello.
I'd fuck with it.
I would fuck with it. Let's go ahead and do a trigger warning. Trigger warning. I feel like we're going to talk about trauma. We're going to talk about parents. We're going to talk about probably childhood trauma. I know I am. I'm about to dump y'all. So like in like a nice way. Not like in like a we know how that feels way. And in like a hey, this is Sam. What's going on with Sam's dysfunction right now in her family? So if you're part of my family, I would definitely skip this one because I'm going to talk facts. And if those facts make you look bad, maybe change your behavior. That's all I'm going to say.
Was it your therapist that says facts over feelings?
Yes. She's big on facts over feelings.
Yeah. Just reiterating that if in case anyone's feathers are ruffled.
Right. Same. Yeah.
But
before we do that, maybe we should do highs and lows. Maybe do highs. You start.
Okay.
You start.
Let's see. Highs. I am currently ranked number 2 in the A division women's league that I'm in. So
Stop.
Yeah. I had at our meet yesterday. So we play 4 games every week. I started out with a 3rd place and then 3 firsts. So I was pretty bricked up about that. Like
yeah, that's incredible.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Otherwise, the Sims 4 came out with that Crystal Creations pack, and I have been having so much fun making crystal jewelry in the game and like going around and digging up collectibles and then coming home and making them. It's like, and then selling it like at the little shop table that they give you. Like, it's so cute and so fun.
Saw a TikTok about like it was showing the decor that came with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like the rugs that came with it, the
moon printed wallpaper. It's so nice. It's beautiful. I'm not super like the clothes. I feel like they work really well with like their other like their spell caster pack. Like the clothes kind of go with that vibe. So they're a little older, I guess, antiquated, I guess, but they're still cute. But it's not like the modern witchy vibe. Still love the pack though. It was only for $10. I feel like it's a great pack.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. I haven't played Sims in so long, and I'm scared that if I start, I'm just gonna go in a hole, man. And I have this whole week off, so I just feel like if I press E8 on my freaking computer, it's done, dude.
I mean, I play every night. So
Yeah.
I've played every night for years. You can do it. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Little dab will
Yeah.
do you.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
Okay.
sure. Cut to
But
next week. Sam's like, well, I logged 60 hours in The Sims.
literally though. Oh
The
my gosh,
pack is awesome.
the pack is awesome.
I feel like that's really all of the highs. Like things have just been kind of chill otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, what's that
Otherwise,
like?
I mean, we can get into the rest of the life update stuff otherwise, but we can kick the highs to you.
Okay. So highs. I went to, so I'm going to call them big therapy and little therapy. I went to big therapy today, which was meds, psychiatrist. Didn't get any.
Eh.
Have to do 2 more sessions and then hopefully
Ew.
going to get some. Yeah, they called it a controlled substance.
It is.
Yeah. So I have to go 2 more times in order to be approved a controlled substance. Okay, I don't know why I'm quoting that, but it was the tone of her. It was the tone.
Yeah.
She was really nice, but it was the tone. And then I had little therapy after that, actually. Little therapy went good. So I'm gonna call that a high. She validated my boundaries where she was like, I'm so proud of you, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'm gonna claim that as a high. Yes.
That's a big high.
It was a big high. It felt like a big high. And then I would say my last one is I realized that I'm not stressed out when I'm at work and I'm not stressed out when I'm with Brian or like doing this. Okay. So like not stressed out at home, not stressed out at work. Pretty not stressed until the family. And I think that's a high for recognizing that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's it sounds like both. Like on one hand, that's great that that's the only place you're stressed because that definitely didn't used to be the case. But that also sucks for obvious reasons. And like having to make the decision on what to do about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything's been pretty good.
Good. You definitely look happier.
I am. I still, for like a low this week, I would say like I'm having a very hard time going back to social media. Things have been really good business wise in person. And I'm struggling to like go back to social media. I took a break because I had like my health stuff and then I had my mom's health stuff. And I was like, like I literally cannot even think about posting. And then now that like everything's starting to like go back to normal, it's like I still haven't been able to post on my social media. I'm still doing like my work social media, but like my account, I'm just like I went to record today and I was like yucky. Yuck.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
I don't know why. Yeah.
That does suck. Like I definitely understand that feeling though. I know that you're definitely more consistent with recording and being on social media than I am. But I feel like I'm in this place with social media where I want to get back on it, but I have all these things that in my head that I want to do and like how I want to show up and try and be more consistent. And my brain is just like, how about we don't do it a little while longer?
Yeah.
And it's like paralysis almost.
Agreed.
It sucks.
Yeah, definitely in that paralysis state for sure too. Because it's like everything's good off of social media. Like business is good, work is good, marriage is good. So it's like, but I have to be on social media.
And that I think is the part that sucks when it turns into like, oh, if I want this to be successful or like turn out how I want, I have to show up to it.
Yeah.
And you don't have the motivation of like, oh, I'm going to get paid immediately or I know I'm going to go viral. Like, you don't have that dopamine thing or the serotonin or whatever like readily available. So it just feels like a chore.
Yeah.
And I hate that feeling.
I hate it too. I was doing so well before the surgery too. Like I was really in it. I was excited about the things I was going to launch. And then now I'm like, I had someone message me yesterday. So sweet. What a sweetheart. She was saying how like my Friday readings like really worked out for her. And like the cards I pulled, they were great. And like, I'm such a great reader. And she was just like, it was the best testimonial. She was so sweet. And I was like, all right, like maybe this will motivate me to start doing Friday readings again. And then like I went to post today and I was like, I just really don't want to. What if we didn't? What if we just win another week? Just Like,
Right.
and it's just gonna keep going forward of like, let's just go another week. And I really want to launch my membership, but I'm like, I just don't want to be on social media right now.
Yeah. The thought of like launching it means you have to be on social media to promote it, and you're just like, ew.
Yeah, ew. Like I just want people to sign up. Like
Yeah.
I just want those that like if you know, you know. Like yeah, I don't know. Like I just want to be like, I don't want to have to promote it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be just another thing you like an advertisement in your face or something else you need to buy. Like if you're
Mm-hmm.
into this, like find it somehow. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I th- that's the advertisement thing. Maybe that's a big part of it though. Like I know for me, I'm so sick of seeing shit being sold to me all the time. And
Yeah.
I feel like part of me is like, I don't want to add to it.
Yeah. Same.
It's probably some childhood wound that's like, I don't think I'm good enough anyway. But it's also like, I'm sold. I'm at my max on stuff that's being sold to me currently.
Yeah, same. Like I think that feeling's so valid though. Like I don't think it's I think it's not I mean maybe a little bit of like the wound of like worthiness, but I think it really is just like we're so bombarded with
Mm-hmm.
like consumption of like an advertisement that it's like, man, like that's why I was like I made that post about not being like a coarse girly. Like I
Yeah.
just can't. It's just not I that's why I can't record my like when I do any type of ritual work, like I can't record it because it like blah, blah, blah. It like takes the authenticity out of it for me. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like I feel like the same like I was trying to be a coarse girly. I was trying to be like, come to me and I will change your life. And I'm really not. I'm like, hey, if you need guidance and someone in your corner, I'm
Mm-hmm.
here, but like you don't
Yeah.
have to pay me 5 grand because I know
Yeah.
you don't have it. I don't have 5 grand. You know what I mean?
Who does
Yeah.
nowadays other than course owners? Like, I don't know.
It's just yeah. I don't
I
know.
don't
And
know.
that's obviously nothing against course girlies. Like if you know, you know. Like if you are a course girly and you're like, yes, I'm passionate about this. This is going to
Mm-hmm.
help a lot of people. This is the way. I think there's room for both. I think there's room for people that aren't course people. Like I'm a workshop girly. I'm gonna like let's do an hour workshop together on Zoom. You'll get what
Mm-hmm.
you need, $50, babe. You know what I mean? And then you have
Yeah.
people that are like, no, like I need this like 12-week course with you. And I tried to do a course and it just didn't feel like me, you know?
Right. You're
Yeah.
very like, it's like personalized with you. Like, you want to be, as you can't really be hands on, but online, but like, you want to be involved in it instead of just the money coming in and the course going out and you
Yeah.
doing your own thing.
Right.
Like,
That
passive
yeah.
income's cool, but I feel like you feel most at home whenever you're actually helping people in real time.
Yeah. Big teacher energy is what I stepped into, especially being here teaching
Mm-hmm.
courses, teaching like not courses, but teaching like classes in person. It
Right.
feels so much right. Like I did the tarot one. It was so good.
Oh, I love
You would have
that.
loved it. You would have loved it.
I would have.
You would
I
have.
learn from you all the time. So I would have loved it in the class too.
Okay.
Look at you.
Okay.
Blood.
You know, I mean, I only had one person for Reiki, but it was still a good class. I was supposed to have two, but one person had COVID, so the COVID got him.
Glad they
But
stayed home.
yeah, I me too. But the one on one was nice, and then she signed up for Reiki too, so that was nice too.
Yay.
Yay!
See? It just takes one.
Whop
You're
her
building
hands,
it.
clap. All right, you do your life updates because I don't want to like
Well,
bombard. I
okay.
don't know.
I mean, yours is going to be a lot though, and I am so naturally chatty and like tangenty. I don't want to use all the time and you have to go through like the actual serious shit in like 10 minutes.
I'm gonna
Cuz I
summarize
don't
it
have anything
anyways.
as okay. Like I
I'm
just
gonna
don't have
summarize
anything
it.
as pressing as that was.
Yeah, I'm gonna summarize.
So,
Yeah.
you can go. I'd
Okay.
rather I'd rather you start this one.
Okay, fine. So long ago, no, I'm just kidding. Your girl is, I'm a very happy person. I think that's been apparent. But I grew up in dysfunction, like hardcore dysfunction. Both of my parents, bio parents, my mom and my dad, are drug addicts. And that obviously had an impact on us growing up. And then my mom's partner is not only a drug addict, also, but a gambling addict.
Hmm.
So even though I'm like happy go lucky, I grew from dysfunctional soil, and that soil be be birthing more dysfunction recently, even though astrologers were like, 2024 is going to be such a good year. Oh my God. And it's like, for who?
Yeah.
For who, babe? I thought Pluto was out of my sign. What's going on right now? Okay. So, long story short, life update. My mom's partner ended up having, so both my parents have, my mom and her partner have cancer. One of them has breast cancer / moved into the lung, and the other one has rectal cancer moved into the uterus, which is disgusting. All right. So, yeah, I grew up with them. They both have the cancers. My bio mom is very disabled, extremely disabled. And so it's been hard because my sister and I have been their caretakers for the past over 10 years. And it's gotten very toxic and then not so toxic and then toxic again. Hayley's been here for the past, 5 years to 4 years. We met in 2020.
4. Yeah.
4 years. Yeah, the past
Which is
4
wild.
years. Wild. Hayley's seen the ups and the downs with it. So, I wanted to share the life update and what's been going on because I feel like a lot of our listeners come from dysfunction and or have dysfunction in their lives. And, I want you to know that you can set the same boundaries that I set with those people in your life that are, causing the trauma, that are the dysfunction, the people that, the problem is coming from inside the house. It's them, not you. I'm in therapy, obviously, because of it, but the recent event that caused me to get back into the dysfunction was my mom's partner had surgery for her cancer. To summarize it, basically had a complication, and my sister they're burning out my sister, man, because she's great. She's trying to help them, pays some of their bills. It's crazy. She does so much for them. And I'm like, no, bro, you're two adults. They're literally almost 60. I'm not going to do it, which I think is fair. Personally, it's very hard for me to not be involved, but for my own mental health, I can't be involved. But it was my sister, seeing her being burnt out. I was like, man, I really want to help my sister out. So I did. I ended up helping her out with my mom's partner while my mom's partner was in the hospital. Long story short, my mom's partner was very choosy with who she was going to be abusive to. She was verbally abusive to me and my sister, but she was nice to her family. After I had to stay up for multiple 24-hour sessions in the hospital, had to help her change her underwear, do a bunch of really medical care stuff for this woman, okay? Because I do love her. But, at the end of the day, she was just very verbally abusive. And it'd be different if she was abusive to everybody, but she was only abusive to me and my sister. So I was like, oh, this is a choice.
Yeah.
You're choosing to be a bitch, basically, to us, the people that are caring for you. So no. And
Literally.
I basically was like, yeah, dude. I was like, no, dude, I'm done. So I had to set that boundary of going really no contact with her. And it's been this situation's been going on for 2 weeks. And I feel like that's why it's been so overwhelming, because you want to feel like you're a good person. You want to feel like you're a good daughter. And at the end of the day, they're an addict. It's never going to be good enough. They ended up getting money and then gambling money. They put themselves in this situation. Oh my God, Hayley, I have to update you on what happened. I didn't even tell you. It's wild.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Is she still in the hospital?
No, so she did come home on last week, at the end of last week. Wow. I didn't go get her. I set that boundary. My sister didn't go get her. She had a friend come pick her up because we're done, dude. She got money to help the family and then ended up lying and gambling it away. And so my mom's done. She says she's done, but she's done this before. So everyone's just done or whatever. And so we'll see. But I think it's really hard when you have I don't think my mom's partner's a narcissist. I think she's just an addict. And I know my mom's a narcissist. They call them, my therapist calls her a vulnerable narcissist. It's a type of narcissist.
Yeah. I know exactly the type. Yeah.
You know. Yeah. If you got a vulnerable narcissist in your life, that is dodging freaking emotional bullets, man.
Yeah.
Because they really try to trigger emotional reactions out of you. So
yeah,
it was really,
they sure do.
They sure do, right? It's you try to be logical. I try to be logical dealing with her, and she just wants to have emotional conversations. She was basically saying my bio mom was oh, I'm gonna yeet myself out of here. And she was like talking about like how she was going to do it. And I was like, okay, well, like, if you're being so for real right now, like, I'm going to call the Georgia crisis line. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally going to get you help. And then she was like, no, like, you know, I just don't want to live. And I'm like, okay, well, like, I feel like I'm responsible and like I have to call someone to help you.
Yeah.
I ended up getting talked out of it, but my therapist today was like, no, like, if this happens again, this conversation, you
Mm-hmm.
have to call the Georgia crisis line. Like,
You
you
do.
have an obligation to call them. So I will.
I'm
And
assuming like a legal obligation as
yeah,
family.
that's
Yeah.
what she was
That's
saying.
what I was worried about.
That's what my therapist was saying. She was like, you have like a legal, like, if something was to
Mm-hmm.
happen, you can be held responsible, which is
Yeah.
like wild because this is a 60-year-old woman almost doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But, and like, you know, I don't know, it just felt very like, I know it was attention seeking, and my therapist was just like, don't give her that attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to do like the legal.
Right.
So that's what I'll do
And
next
then,
time.
yeah, and then she'd have to explain to them that it wasn't for real, it was for play,
Right.
and how that's going to play out, you know. I
Right.
get why those laws are in place, like for really old people that live by themselves and like family just doesn't want to fuck with them. Like that shit is wrong. Like if they legitimately can't take care of themselves. But I can absolutely see how it sets the stage for something like this. Like if you didn't know,
Yeah.
how would you figure it out until it's,
Yeah.
too late?
Exactly. And like that's the thing where I like draw a line with my mom, because like she is physically disabled. She is not
Mm-hmm.
mentally disabled. So
Right.
she's on TikTok. She's gonna see clips of this. You know what I mean? So I'm like big on like, girl, if you're on TikTok and you can use a cell phone, you can Google,
Mm-hmm.
you can use Instacart to get yourself groceries. You can
Mm-hmm.
find a rideshare program or do an Uber to get you back and forth to appointments. Like,
Right.
you can find the resources to help yourself, like to be independent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead, she like chooses to run my sister ragged, bro. Like, and like, I kind of got swooped in there a little bit, but I got myself out of
Yeah.
it. And like, it's a big thing of telling my sister, like, because I feel like people that are in the same situation, if they have siblings, you like feel like, okay, well, if I say no, is my sibling gonna say yes? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been the big thing of like, I can't worry about if my sibling does say yes. Like, I can't feel guilty
Yeah.
for saying no and she's choosing to say yes. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And that's hard.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of know how you feel about that
Yeah.
with my own sibling. It's a little different, but still, like, it sucks feeling like you're doing the right thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And by extension, someone else is shouldering all of it. But
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to step out of. Of like, I can't be in the dysfunction like for my own life. Like, I have to get out of it. And I did like,
mm-hmm.
oh my God. I talked to my therapist and I talked to my mom and I was like, hey, like, because I can't go no contact with my bio mom. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
really, that codependency bond is going to be there. But I can limit the type of support I give her. So
Yeah.
I decided that I'm going to give her a hand to hold. Taylor's the one that helped me with this. I'm going to give her a hand to hold with love. Love you. I
Mm-hmm.
will hold your hand through this. Like, physically hold your hand. I'm not actually going to like do anything for you.
Yeah.
And I will be a listening ear for you to cry to. Like,
Mm-hmm.
emotional, like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to drive you around. I'm not going to buy your groceries. I'm not going to pay your bills. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the type of
Yeah.
support you're needing, you don't want like actual support. You want like services at that point, I feel
Yeah.
like. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
feel like you're an adult. Pay for the services that you
Mm-hmm.
need. You know what I mean?
Absolutely agree.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where we
I'm
ended
so
up.
proud of you for that. What a long way you have come in 4 years.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when we first met, you were still very deep in feeling like you had to do it all
Oh yeah. So
and
deep in it.
running yourself ragged. And even just setting the boundaries that you've set now, they're huge. Like,
Yeah.
that's, I know it's not easy, but I'm really proud of you for doing that for yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not easy because I was when you're raised in that environment to be like a people pleaser and a person of service, to be a
Mm-hmm.
caretaker for your parent. you feel like a bad person living your own life. You feel like a bad person setting boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been very difficult to like have my own compass of, what's that called? Character. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm
Like
not,
your own moral compass.
yeah, like developing
Yeah.
my own, exactly, my own moral compass of being like, I'm not a bad person because I'm unwilling to, you know, keep going back to this dysfunction. It
Mm-hmm.
would be different if we had a different relationship, if what, you know, because growing up in this environment, like guys, I could literally, these stories of what has happened
Mm-hmm.
isn't what they have
Yeah.
put me through has been just insane over the
Mm-hmm.
past 10 years. So it's not like I woke up one day and I was like, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to help my mommy. Like, that's not what this is. Like, our
Yeah.
relationship has been built by her actions. So it's hard to be like, I'm not a bad person because, like, she's crying about her TV's broken and I don't instantly go to Walmart and buy her a TV. Like, and I want to. The like people pleaser caretaker in me, I want to go, I want to pay all her bills.
Mm-hmm.
I want to white knight her. I want to save her from everything she's created.
Yeah.
But then she would never, ever, 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 ever learn that treating people the way she's treated people has consequences. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it also, enabling it doesn't help her learn either.
Yeah.
Like, her not having a financial worry in the world at you and your husband's expense, what incentive is there to try and
Right.
do any better?
Right.
I totally get that. Like, it's not like you want to see her struggle. That's not
No.
it at all, but especially in 2024 with peanut butter being $7 a jar, like, we don't have supporting parent money.
Yeah.
Like, even like, I don't know anyone that actually genuinely does.
Same. Like, and that was luckily, like, I set that boundary a while ago. Like, you know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
not, I did. Like, and like, you know, we did live with my mom when we first moved down to North Carolina for like a couple months, like in the
Mhm.
transitional phase. And she loves to talk about that, about like, oh, I let you and Brian stay here. And, you know, I didn't charge all the thing. And I was talking to my therapist about that today, and she was like, "We love a good like word for it." It was like, oh, the conditions of her like
Mhm.
it's not her being helpful, it's not her being kind. It's like
No.
her helping in order to being able to manipulate me later with
Yeah.
this what she has done, right?
Right.
I mean, and it was like that's now because that's how she's been my whole life. Like that's how I think other people are. You know what I mean? Like if you
Right.
grow up with a narcissist, it kind of like tricks your brain. It really does like mess with your brain to think like, oh, someone does something nice for me, they're going to use that against me later.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like,
absolutely. Yeah. I think for me it's a it's an emotional consequence. Like, if
mhm,
someone is, especially like a partner or any man in my life, if they are nice and go along with something with like no pushback, and I know it's not something they love to do,
mhm,
I always worry in the back of my mind. I wait for the other shoe to drop for it to be thrown back in my face. And it turned into like how inconsiderate I was
mhm.
for taking them at their word and asking that of them in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that type of shit. It's so traumatic
Yeah,
because every time you never see it coming.
yeah, same. Yeah, that's how my sister is. Like, she will not borrow money from anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she'll be fucking damned, dude. She will be damned if
Yeah.
she borrows money from someone because she just knows that like it's gonna come back around, you know.
Which
And luckily,
sucks.
like it sucks, dude. Like don't be generous and kind if you're just gonna use it later. And
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, my mom made a comment of us having like a transactional relationship to my sister. Like that's what she said her, my mom and I have. And I was like, you better believe it. Like I told Jess, I was like, we absolutely do, dude, because she's made it that way. She's
Mm-hmm.
her actions and what she's done to me has absolutely made it transactional. Like you say like, "Oh, like drop off your dog, like I miss Goose, let me play with him." And then I drop him off and you complain about that later to my sister. Girl,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't never going to see that dog again. Like, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like why
that shit burns me up to hear it.
burn?
The first time, pissed me the hell off. Second time it does. You could say no.
Yeah, like you don't have to
Just
bring him up at
no.
all.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to pretend. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we set boundaries. So anyone that is, you know, in a relationship with a narcissist, especially like a parental narcissist, know that you are not alone. I have also grown up in that world, and I am 32. I turned 33 this year. And I'm just now setting boundaries, just now have a support system, which is dangerous because my support system is the people at the shop, and they will just straight murder her. Like they will just straight be like, get out of here. You know what I mean? And they're very like, they don't give a shit. Like, you treat someone badly, get out. You know, you want to be kind and mature, like, you're welcome. But
you need people like that, though. You need people that are not afraid of whatever they'll do.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't have to be physical terror, but like the emotional shit, you need people that it doesn't phase.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been weird being around people that are like, I'm hungry, I'm gonna get food, or being like, hey, like, I like you, and they mean it, and they don't say anything bad about you. That's been so weird.
It's sad that that's so weird. I get exactly what you mean, like, looking around at your life and being like, damn, like, all these people actually like and love me? What?
Right?
Nothing's gone bad yet?
How weird. How weird.
So weird.
But yeah, that's my update. Just setting boundaries with my family and going low to no contact. How's your life update? How's your life been?
Actually, I'm just being a little dramatic. I forgot to take my afternoon Adderall, so I'm a little sleepy. That part, changing meds, has sucked. Like, it's not the worst, admittedly. The first couple days I was like, what did I get myself into? Because I felt like shit, and it really didn't seem like it was working well. But now that I'm adjusted to it, I feel like it has like the little, so I take a pill in the morning. It's the extended release Adderall. And then I have an afternoon instant release. It's like a little pick me up because Adderall wears off faster than Vyvanse did.
Right.
Which Vyvanse was great because I would take it in the morning. I never felt it wear off, but I feel the Adderall wearing off, and I get headaches. Like days like today when I forget the afternoon one, I'll probably have a headache at like 9 or 10 o'clock.
Oh.
And yeah, that was what it was when I switched. Like I had a headache the whole day for like the first 2 or 3 days. But it's better than paying $280 a month, so I'm really happy about that.
Wild.
Yeah. But I'd love to switch back to Vyvanse at some point and get the generic one. Because I'm sure everyone will switch back to Adderall, and then I'll have to bail anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's the downside of being on ADHD meds. Like, the thought of going off of it now after feeling how my brain is like working more functionally, I legit could not do my job without it. I wouldn't be able to work like at all. And that is it's both the meds, but it's also like the state of my mental attitude towards my job. Cause I feel like I let a lot of like the disappointment, and I'll stop playing with my pop socket. I let a lot of the disappointment and the rage go that I had like in 2022 and like 2023. But I'm just so done. Like, I just want someone to hire me. I just want someone to read my resume and hire me. I've been applying for a year now. Yeah. And I keep getting, I get interviews. I get to the final round and they give it to someone else, and it's very draining. But
what does that say about I feel like, what does that say about the hiring industry anyways? Because you have over 10 years of experience. You've been at the same job for 10 years.
Oh no, not the same job. Not for 10 years. It'll be 8 at the end of June. But still,
what millennial do you know that stayed at a job for 8 years? Like, that's insane. Like, that's resume gold. So I'm just
you would think, but it's not anymore.
Like,
it's like they're like, oh, we don't want people that jump ship too fast. But now if you stay at a job a long time, I feel like it's a red flag.
Okay, well, no,
it's like it's like, oh, so you just got complacent. And it's like, yeah, I fucking did. Because 4 years ago, the world changed forever and I didn't want to lose my fucking job. So I stayed.
Right.
But I stayed too long.
They can get
Like,
fucked.
that's what it, right. We could have a whole episode about my beef with job hunting in the first place. Because there are so many jobs out there that are either posted by scammers or are fake, that are posted by the companies to make their competitors think that they're hiring.
Oh, absolutely.
And they don't actually hire anyone. They just keep reposting it.
Yeah.
And you can't tell off the bat. It's not like you can see it from a mile away and save your energy.
Right, no.
But I would really like to get a new job. I feel optimistic for 2020. God help me if it's not. Like, if I'm still saying this in 2025, I don't know. But I'm also just kind of like at a weird crossroads. Like, part of me is like, is this a sign that I need to try and do freelance full time? Maybe it is. But then we go back to what I was talking about with social media and posting being a chore.
Yeah.
And I don't have the luxury of quitting and going into it full time to find out.
Right.
Before it's actually lined up, you know?
Yeah, no, because your benefits are banged.
I mean, I need my insurance. I can't go with it.
Yeah.
So banging or not.
Like, yeah, shit pops off.
Yeah. Right. It's just, you know, I need the insurance. My husband doesn't make enough to support us both. Like, it's just all the logistics aspects that I can't do anything about with it.
Right.
But I am putting the pedal to the metal to get my UX design, user experience design certification done. I am on the 5th course out of 7. It took me way too long to get through courses 1 and 2, but I think it was both me not being on meds, but also me not having a way that, like, to move through the course that made sense for me, that I could retain anything.
Yeah.
Like, now I listen to the videos that they have. I read the transcript at the same time. And if I want to write something down, I pause and then I write it from the transcript and keep going.
Yeah.
Because just watching it or just reading it wasn't enough.
No, dude. I'm such a kinetic learner.
I found the combo that, like, works for me. So I'm trying to get through that so that I can actually be competitive for, like, product design jobs and those types of jobs, because they won't even consider me now, even though I can do the work.
Right.
But it's like they need to see those pretty little words, UX, UI, or product, to consider me. Yeah.
Insane.
It's stupid. There's, like, you don't get the benefit of the doubt on anything with a job anymore.
Right.
Like, they don't take chances anymore. But work shit aside, I feel like personally, like, home life, marriage life has been pretty good. You know, I feel like that's been pretty good for a while, and I love that. Family drama, not so much. Because I know I do need to make it's like an editor's note. My horrible sister-in-law is actually a Libra and not a Scorpio. So sorry for the bad press, Libra, but it actually, finding that out, that made more sense.
What's her rising?
I'm not sure about that.
That's what we,
because I don't know her birth time.
Oh, that's what we really care about.
But like that, what you were talking about with your bio mom, like it's fine in your face, and then you say whatever the fuck is said behind your back, it's the same type of deal.
It's like,
yeah,
unhealed Libras. It's unhealed. Like, every sign has their, like, positive and negative aspects, and I feel like the unhealed, like, wounds within them, like, that's such a Libra trait, dude.
Yeah.
Such a Libra trait.
It really is. It's disappointing to see who I thought was a good man, my brother-in-law, marry someone like that, and I think be affected by her temperament, like be changed in a negative way.
Yeah.
Because he's still so young. Like, I think he's like 24, so he's still got so much growth.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just disappointing to watch. And I feel like I feel like I identify a lot with my other sister-in-law, who Jax's sister, actually, because there's so many sisters-in-law in this story. But like that feeling of just like a deep betrayal by your family, and then like the other, like feeling like your parents could do more, or feeling like you do have support, but it's like from the people that you aren't getting the support from, you really want it. I feel like I identify with that really deeply.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, I feel like I've struggled a lot lately, because like this, it's not about like this situation, like my shitty sister-in-law being transphobic and toxic and homophobic, even though she was married to a woman prior to my brother-in-law. But like, whatever. It's just tough. Like, for me, it's really hard. Like, I'm trying to navigate keeping these people in my life, because like they're not going anywhere.
Right.
They're family. My husband still wants to try to have a relationship with his brother, and that means I'll probably have to see both of them and their kids at some point. And respect is such a big thing for me in relationships, and it's like, once I feel disrespected or I lose respect for someone else, like that's just kind of it.
Yeah, dude. Gone.
And yeah. And it's like the respect is gone, but I can't get rid of them. So
right.
I feel like it's either not see them and be like difficult in that regard, or try to keep a stone face as much as possible in their presence, and inadvertently start some shit, probably because of how my eyebrows will move or something. You know?
Yeah, no.
Like, it's just tough.
Well, you also like the fuck her, number one, but also like difficult is such a triggering word for you that I think like you avoid it at all costs, when I think you should be difficult. I think difficult isn't a bad word, especially when you're standing up for people and their basic human rights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think it's triggering because I'm called difficult when I'm genuinely like not trying to be. And I feel like I am trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just one of those things that after I realized I was neurodivergent, like it made a lot more sense in that regard, because it's like, I think that I'm just being honest, and just, it's like someone asks for your opinion and then you tell them and they get mad. It's like that type of feeling. It's like, what did you ask me?
Right, exactly. Well, because nobody likes to hear things that they don't, no one likes to hear something that triggers them or upsets them. So it's like, okay, well, don't ask, It's like when you post something online, like people are like, oh my God, negative comments. Like, yeah, dude, welcome to the internet. Like, you're going to have good comments, you're going to have bad comments. So when you ask your opinion, like they may not like it. You know what I mean? But it's your opinion. They don't have to take that on to themselves, which is difficult for people. Especially, I struggle with that,
Absolutely. It's just really fucking annoying.
Yeah, dude, fuck her.
Yeah. It's more that I don't want to cause issues. No, I don't care if she's inconvenienced. I don't care if my brother-in-law's inconvenienced or like pissy, like whatever. It's more not wanting to upset my mother-in-law, not wanting to make shit any more difficult for them, because it's like they are already walking on such thin ice around her anyway. It's like my mother-in-law could blink the wrong way and she'd probably try and get them cut off from seeing their grandkids too. Like, she's like that. I feel like she's just looking for shit. And I don't want to give it to her.
Right. And one, how other people feel is out of your control. Like, that's a lot to put on your plate. But also, look at all these people trying to placate a fucking transphobe. Like, everyone's so worried about her. Everyone's like, oh man, like, oh, she's like using those kids as like, leverage. And it's like, look at all these people like going out of their way for someone that hates people.
Yeah.
Weird.
Exactly.
Weird energy. Weird.
She's one of those people that has everyone around her cater to her. Like her mother would come to see her and do everything for her.
Not in? No.
Yeah. Like clean, cook, didn't want to go out and see anything. Like just wanted to sit in the apartment in fucking San Diego and just take care of her daughter, who is now a mother and a grown-ass woman.
No, sounds like she needs someone in her life to be difficult. It sounds like she needs someone to not fucking cater to her and be difficult.
I know. Why does it always have to be me, though?
I don't know. Life's a curse.
God.
I see, now I'm like too mean. Now being here, I'm like too.
No, you're not too mean. You're right. I
would just be a menace. I would just be a menace around her. Like she would say something, I'd be like, love it when you speak transphobically. Love that. Love that homophobia. Like in public. Like she could say something and I'd be like, oh, that homophobic in you.
We just fight in a Chick-fil-A, like the story I told you about.
Yeah. Can't control if she gets upset. Sorry. Words have meaning, bro. Words have, consequences. This is the consequence of what you just said.
Literally. Yeah.
Boo.
You're not being mean at all. If roles were reversed, you're giving me the advice that I would give you, and it's like, I know you're right. Yeah. It's just the, like, I don't know what I'm correcting from a past life, but that part of me is fucking tired of being the truth teller and all that shit. Like, Jesus.
Like, breaking cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but worth it. I think it would be nice to have you there backing Jax's sister,
Oh, yeah. I'll back her forever.
Yeah.
I adore her and her wife. They are the kindest people. Some of the kindest people I've ever met. Like, they will do anything for family. Like, they didn't even know this girl. And she moved to town and they dropped everything to help her. See. Just because that's his wife.
Right.
And she turned around and spat in their face, basically.
Yeah, she needs to get put in her place.
Yeah. Throwing bows, but that's
what's going on. I'm dealing with a narcissist and Hayley's dealing with a transphobe.
Could also be a narcissist.
Could.
The problem is that victims of narcissists that are unhealed and narcissists themselves can look so fucking similar.
So similar.
Woo.
So similar.
It's bad.
It's bad. So comment below if you're also dealing with a narcissist or a transphobe, and we'll start a little community in the comments.
Yeah.
A little support group, little love letters.
Literally, the plus size support group.
All right. I'm good. Are you good?
Think so. Yeah.
Okay.
That felt good to get out.
It really did. We don't really do life updates, so I think it was nice to have one,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Something
different. But where can they find us, Hayley?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at Plus Size Section, on TikTok at the Plus Size Section. If you want to tell us about the narcissists or the transphobes or the general haters in your life, you can do that at the Plus Size Section at gmail.com.
Yeah.
As always, we would love it if you'd give us a 5-star review, a like, a share, tell your friends about the podcast, all that jazz. You know what to do. We're trying to spread like COVID-19 or the measles.
Wow, laughing about a serious pandemic.
Dark. What else are we gonna do? They don't even care anymore.
I know. We're coping.
It's still
with humor.
Serious though, guys. Be careful out here.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.